Welcome to Skinner and Chalmers' Weekly Roast. Today, the Mushroom King's Road, a great journey without destiny.
Good Sunday, good glorious Sunday, or rather, well, Monday, dear listeners of the Weekly Roast. You are joining us today from underneath, and I do mean this with full poetic sincerity, the most magnificent tree in all of Memfield, possibly all of the continental United States.
It's a tree, Seymour. It's a very nice tree. And yes, it's Monday for you, listeners, if you listen to the podcast when it airs. But for us, it's Sunday. A warm, bright Sunday.
Indeed. Oh, Gary, look at it. Look at those buds. Those are March buds, the first of the season. Each one is essentially a tiny green promise that the world hasn't given up on us.
I will say, and I want to be clear that I am saying this only once, the buds are quite lovely this year.
Ah! He said it. Listeners, mark your calendars. Gary Chalmers, superintendent, geologist of the heart, and my beloved husband, has acknowledged the buds.
Don't make it a thing. It's sounding weird enough.
It is absolutely a thing. It is the thing. It is the thing of today.
We do have a rather nice view from here at the buds. I'll admit that much. The clouds are doing something interesting as well. That one there, the long flat one, that's a stratocumulus formation if I've ever seen one.
And there he goes, already identifying clouds like a proud and satisfied man.
It's a perfectly reasonable observation.
It is, and I love you for it. Do you want a sandwich? I made sandwiches.
You, Seymour, you made sandwiches on your own this noon, unsupervised.
I used the toaster. Nothing burned. Well, almost nothing. The crusts have a regional character to them. I would describe it as a sort of...
Say more.
They're fine, Gary.
Fine. Are you sure?
Genuinely fine. I checked twice. Old Bartholomew supervised me. He stood in the doorway with his arms crossed. Well, he doesn't have a lot of facial expression to work with, but I could feel the judgment.
That does actually give me more confidence. Yes, Bartholomew has good instincts.
Excellent instincts! 281 years of agricultural experience does that to a skeleton. He also insisted I put the parsley on the side. He said, and I'm quoting directly, "In my day, we did not assault the bread with greenery," and then he shuffled off to go check on the tulip bulbs.
He's already started the spring bulbs.
Started them? Gary, he's been planning the spring bulb rotation since February. He drew a diagram, on actual paper, with a quill. He asked me if we had any vellum, and I had to explain what a printer was for 45 minutes.
Oh, that poor old skeleton.
He's getting there. He used the word vibe last Tuesday and only winced a little bit after.
Progress. Real progress. These sandwiches are actually quite good, Seymour.
Thank you, my love.
The crusts are, as described, regional.
A bold regional character.
Bold. Yes, that's one word for it.
In the distance, there is a lovely tune played on a flute by a neighbor.
Gary, listen.
I'm listening.
No, really listen? Pass me. Past the sandwiches? Past even the stratocumulus?
Still just the one stratocumulus.
Do you hear that?
Is that a flute?
A low whistle, I think. Someone nearby.
That's coming from the east side, isn't it? Past the hedge.
I think so. You know, I glanced over this morning when I was bringing out the blanket, and I thought I saw someone over there, but I couldn't quite make them out through the apple tree.
One of the neighbors.
I thought maybe Yuji. He does sometimes sit out in the garden quite quietly.
Yuji plays a card game, Seymour. I've never known him to have musical inclinations.
People contain multitudes, Gary. Perhaps he's branching out.
There was also that new woman who moved in recently down the lane. We haven't met her yet, have we?
We haven't. I kept meaning to bring a welcome dish, but then the incident with Gizmo and the hedge occurred, and it rather slipped my mind.
Don't remind me about the hedge incident.
Gizmo was just expressing himself.
He ate the hedge, Seymour. He ate approximately 40% of the hedge on the eastern side and then looked pleased about it.
He had a very satisfied expression, yes. I thought it was endearing.
Sonic texted me 4 times.
Sonic loves drama.
Sonic loves his hedges. There is a difference. But whoever is playing that, it's quite something, isn't it? Just drifting over from wherever they are. The tune feels very old somehow, like it's from somewhere far away.
Or like it's from a story that hasn't started yet.
You know, that's almost poetic.
Almost.
Almost, Seymour. Don't push it.
Gary?
What is it, my love?
Do you ever, when you listen to something like that, does it make you feel like you should be somewhere? Like the music is pointing at something just over the horizon?
Occasionally, especially on a day like today, when the light is doing that thing.
What thing?
That late morning March thing, where it's still a bit gold but the air is fresh and everything is just waking up. It's a very particular light.
It is, isn't it? Everything is just waking up, even us.
Even us?
Okay, I have to bring it up.
Bring what up?
The daydream, Gary. You know what dream? We've been circling it for 20 minutes. That music is basically pulling it out of me like a...
Like a what?
Like a very gentle magnet pulling a very enthusiastic piece of iron filings.
That is a terrible metaphor.
It got the point across.
Did it?
Gary, the road trip? The big one. The no destination, just drive, take the pets, take some friends, see what's out there road trip. The one we've been sketching in the margins of our conversations for. How long now?
Years. Honestly, years.
Years! And every time we sit somewhere lovely like this, it comes back, doesn't it? Like a very persistent and cheerful boomerang.
I do think about it. More than I probably let on. Just loading up, going somewhere without a plan, seeing what the country looks like from a slow angle. No GPS telling us we've arrived, no agenda. Just road and sky and...
And rocks.
And rocks, yes. Maybe we should ask Rachel Rocks to join us on that one. But yes, there are some genuinely extraordinary geological formations in the Midwest I have always wanted to see in person. There's a particular shale exposure in Wyoming.
And I could cook along the way.
Say more.
Over a campfire, Gary! Campfire cooking! Completely different set of variables. The burning is expected and in fact traditional.
You would burn down a national park.
I would do no such thing. I would burn down a small portion of a national park, at most, and I would feel very bad about it.
That is not as reassuring as you think it is.
But can you imagine? Genuinely, can you imagine? You and me and Bartholomew sat outside a tent somewhere in the Appalachians?
Bartholomew would need to be kept out of direct sun.
We'd get him a very good hat.
Well, he likes a good hat. But what about Cosmo and the puppies? Who takes care of them then?
Cosmo would ride on the dashboard, obviously. The puppies in their basket in the back. Dobwa gets the window seat because otherwise he complains the entire time.
He really does. He spent 40 minutes last drive saying, "Are we there yet?" But in 17 different emotional registers.
He has tremendous range for a parrot.
Tremendous, yes.
And Chief could come. And Echo. Oh, Echo would love it. She'd probably project little starfields over the campsite at night.
Actually, yes. That would be wonderful.
And Swampy? Obviously Swampy. He's never been on a proper road trip, and I think the open air would do him a world of good. He gets a bit damp when he's cooped up.
He does. There was an incident with the hallway last November.
We don't talk about November.
We really don't.
The point is, all of them. The whole ridiculous lot of them. Just wandering through the country. No Mushroom King to serve.
Yes, you're our... Wait!
What?
No, Seymour, that reminds me.
What? Gary, you've gone very bright around the eyes.
The Mushroom King. You mentioned the Mushroom King.
Did I? I said no Mushroom King to serve, as in...
Seymour Skinner, you told me about the Mushroom King before we were married.
Oh, yes, you're right.
When I came over for lunch that one time, early on, you burned the roast.
I burn the roast every time, Gary. You'll need to be more specific.
You climbed out the window, Seymour. You literally exited the kitchen via the window, and when I found you in the garden looking extremely casual, you told me, and I remember this with total clarity, you told me you had stepped out because you were, quote, embarking on a brief journey to serve the humble Mushroom King.
Yes? Yes, I do recall saying something along those lines.
You said it with a straight face.
I was committed to the bit, Gary.
You told me there was you described a whole quest. You said you had received a summons, that the Mushroom King required tribute from skilled culinary practitioners, and that this was the reason the roast had been so generously sacrificed to the cause.
In my defense, the roast was sacrificed. Completely, it was ash, Gary.
It was completely ash, yes.
So, technically...
Technically nothing. You climbed out a window to avoid explaining why the kitchen smelled like a forge.
But the Mushroom King excuse...
was the most elaborate thing I had ever heard in my life, and for reasons I still cannot fully explain, I found it devastatingly charming.
You did?
I did. I went home that afternoon, and I thought that man just invented an entire mythology to explain a burnt roast. That is either the most ridiculous thing I have ever encountered, or it is the most imaginative. And then I thought it might just be both. And I think that was the moment I knew.
Gary.
Don't make it sentimental.
It is sentimental. You just told me the Mushroom King mythology was the moment you fell in love with me.
I said I knew. I said I knew. There's a distinction.
There is absolutely no distinction. The Mushroom King brought us together.
Partially, yes. A burnt roast and a very ridiculous fictional quest. That's our love story, apparently.
It's a great love story. And Gary, listen, what if we bring the Mushroom King on the road trip?
What do you mean, bring him?
I mean, what if that's the story? What if the road trip has a quest? Not a real destination, you understand, no reservations, no itinerary, but a narrative destination. We are on our way to serve the humble Mushroom King. That is our noble purpose.
You want to structure our holiday around a fictional ruler of fungi.
I want to give our wandering a soul, Gary. Every great journey needs a reason, even if the reason is completely invented. The reason is the music. Do you understand? The reason is the low whistle coming over the hedge on a Sunday morning and making you feel like the horizon means something.
That is, I will not deny, a rather good framing.
Oh, he's coming round. He's coming round, listeners.
I'm not coming round. I'm acknowledging a reasonable creative premise.
Same thing. Same magnificent thing.
Fine, we are, hypothetically, on a quest for the Mushroom King. What does this involve?
Right, okay. So, picture this.
I'm picturing.
It is dawn, a golden, misty dawn. We depart Memfield in the... We'd need a big vehicle, wouldn't we, with the animals?
We'd need something approximately the size of a small vessel.
A great wagon, pulled by... No, too many roads, we need an engine. Okay, a great van.
Van Goat would lend us their van, probably, or follow us uninvited.
Oh, Van Goat would absolutely follow us uninvited, and then claim they had been invited all along.
They would eat half the road snacks within the first 20 minutes.
And then deny it. But yes, a great van, and we set out from Memfield. And in this story, in the adventure version of this story that the low whistle is playing, it is not a highway we travel. It is a road through a world that is a little more storied. A little more like the inside of a good book.
More like a fantasy world. Are you saying our road trip is also a fantasy epic?
I'm saying our road trip is whatever we want it to be, Gary. That's the whole point of daydreaming on a Sunday. Now let me ask you something. If you were a character, a class, if you will, in this adventure, what would you be?
A cleric.
Yes, instantly. No thought required.
Of course, a cleric. Practical, educated. Access to healing when you inevitably set something on fire.
I would be a fire mage.
Obviously.
Not obviously?
Say more. You have attempted to cook over 10,000 meals. You have burned the majority of them. You have accidentally ignited a tea towel, 2 oven mitts, 1 hat, and a small portion of the kitchen ceiling. The fire magic was always there. You just thought it was a cooking implement.
The fire was within me all along.
The fire was, yes, the food was the casualty.
But in the adventure, the fire is a power. Seymour Skinner, Royal Fire Mage, and Culinary Alchemist of the First Flame.
First Flame, honestly, have you watched too much Witcher on Netflix?
Yes, First Flame, traveling alongside Gary Chalmers, cleric of considerable wisdom and keeper of the sacred geological texts.
I would carry a field guide to sedimentary formations, yes. That seems in keeping.
And together, they ride, metaphorically, in the great van, toward the kingdom of the humble Mushroom King, through towns and valleys, through forests where the trees are very old and slightly suspicious.
Slightly suspicious trees, yes.
And they meet people along the way, travelers, wanderers, knights with peculiar hobbies.
Such as,
a knight who is also inexplicably deeply passionate about meteorology. A knight who will stop mid-battle to point out an approaching cumulonimbus.
That knight would be in tremendous company with me.
He would. They'd have whole afternoons just standing on hillsides discussing cloud formations while I attempted to prepare a meal that would later be classified as a regional speciality.
What regional speciality?
That would depend entirely on what I burned and how enthusiastically I rebranded it, Gary.
Naturally. Yes, this char forward grain dish is very traditional in the northern provinces.
A time-honored preparation handed down through generations of fire mages?
The smoke is intentional.
The smoke is essential to the flavor.
You would actually say that.
I would say that and believe it with my whole heart, Gary.
Who else is with us in this quest, in the dream version?
Well, Chief, obviously. Sir Chief. Knight of the Covenant Highlands. Enormous, armored, surprisingly thoughtful.
A very capable knight, though prone to shooting things.
He has range. An Echo, Lady Echo of the Skyvale, she'd be a... What would Echo be?
An oracle. Easily. She can project visions, she processes information at tremendous speed. She'd be the party oracle who occasionally the entire group ignores until it's too late.
Gary, that is perfect. She'd give them the correct advice at the start and they'd all nod, and then go do the opposite thing, and then she'd say, very evenly, I did indicate that the bridge was structurally compromised.
And she'd be right. She'd always be right.
Always? And Swampy?
Swampy is clearly a druid.
Immediately, yes. Swampy is a druid who is in absolute harmony with the swamp biome specifically and slightly less comfortable in any other terrain.
He'd be magnificent in a bog, struggle a bit in the desert.
We'd plan the road accordingly. And Bartholomew?
Oh, old Bartholomew would be a sage, an elder sage, who has technically died once and considers this to be a professional qualification.
In my experience, and I have experienced death directly, which puts certain things in perspective.
He'd say exactly that. He says things exactly like that already?
He does. Just last week, he told me that my anxiety about the Ruba situation was the small worry of a man who has not yet stared into the abyss. And then he went back to sorting the seed packets.
That is both deeply unsettling and extremely wise.
That is Bartholomew's whole brand, Gary.
And Mary.
Mary Baron Von floats a lot.
She travels with us, obviously.
She is the party philosopher, who is also technically transport on any water-based stage of the journey. She floats down rivers while delivering meditations on the transient nature of current.
What is a river but time that chose to be visible?
She would 100% say that while I tried to make a campfire soup over her head,
she'd object philosophically rather than practically.
I do not fear the flame. I fear the forgetting of what fire means.
And then Daubwa would just shout something completely unrelated.
Daubwa would provide commentary throughout the entire journey, approximately 40% useful, 60% just repeating the last thing someone said, but with different emphasis.
What about Cosmo and the puppies?
Cosmo doesn't need a class, Gary. Cosmo transcends class. Cosmo is just there and things are better because of it. The puppies bounce. That is their contribution and it is considerable.
It is genuinely, they have remarkable energy.
So there we are, the Fellowship of the Mushroom King. Riding down the great road through forests and over hills and across rivers. Mary floating, Chief clanking, Echo oracular, Bartholomew sagely, Swampy boggy, Daubwa opinionating, Cosmo transcendent, the puppies bouncing.
And Van Gogh, who has followed uninvited and keeps eating the supply wagon.
They would find us, wouldn't he? They would be just there, 3 miles in. Oh, what a coincidence, I was also traveling this road.
With their van, somehow, in a medieval fantasy landscape.
I don't question how Van Gogh has a van in every dimension, Gary. Some forces of nature simply transcend setting.
That is probably the most accurate thing you have ever said.
And then, they meet people along the road, travelers, common folk. A farmer outside a small village who asks them where they're going.
And Skinner says,
"We seek the humble Mushroom King. He has called us to his service and we shall not fail in our errand."
And the farmer looks at this group, a very crazy group with
a volcano, Gary, we bring Krakatoa.
We are not bringing Krakatoa on the road trip.
He'd feel left out.
He is a volcano, Seymour. He cannot fit in a van. He is geologically stationary by definition, even if he is quite small.
We could, I don't know, send him postcards.
Yes, we send Krakatoa postcards. That is what we do. Where were we?
The farmer.
Right. The farmer looks at this group and says,
"The Mushroom King. Never heard of him."
And I say, very reasonably,
"What do you say?"
I say, it is a small kingdom, possibly underground, We have been told the king is humble, which in our experience means he is either genuinely modest or has a catastrophically small domain and has chosen to lean into it.
And the farmer says, well, I did once see a large and unusual fungus about 40 miles east, near the old birch forest. Never saw anyone tending it, but the mushrooms there were extraordinary, great tall ones. Silver capped in the morning light.
I like this farmer.
He's a good farmer. He provides useful and slightly mysterious information and then goes back to his entirely reasonable life. We need that character.
Every good quest needs the farmer with the cryptic clue.
Exactly, and we head east, toward the birch forest. And the next morning, Gary? The next morning. You wake up early because you always wake up early.
I do. It's a habit. I like the early light.
You always have. And there's mist over the road and the birch trees are just appearing out of it ahead. And you sit on the step of the van with your field guide and your coffee, and you watch the world come into focus.
That does sound like something I would do.
And I'm still asleep because I stayed up too late inventing a new recipe over the campfire that is technically uneaten for legal reasons.
Legally uneaten.
And then they reach the mushroom forest, and it is exactly as the farmer described. Silver-capped, very tall, impossibly beautiful in the morning light. The kind of beautiful that feels like a reward.
A reward for what?
For the journey itself, for leaving, for deciding that the road was worth getting on, even without a map that showed the destination.
And the Mushroom King.
The Mushroom King is, well, he is humble, entirely. He's a small fellow, sits on a stone, surrounded by silver mushrooms. And when the whole ridiculous fellowship arrives, clanking and floating and bouncing and opinionating and goat, he just looks up and says, well, he says, oh, you came. I didn't really expect anyone to come, to be honest.
He didn't expect anyone.
He sent the call out years ago. He'd basically given up. And we say, we are here to serve your majesty. And he says, that's very kind. I mostly just wanted someone to have tea with. I have rather a lot of mushrooms.
He just wanted company.
He just wanted company. The whole quest, the whole mythic journey across the land, was because a small king in a silver wood was a bit lonely and wanted someone to share a pot of tea with.
Say more.
Yes.
That is actually quite a lovely story.
It started as an excuse for climbing out a window.
The best things do.
You know what I think it is, really?
Tell me.
I think the Mushroom King story is always going to be ours. Not because of the quest. Not even because of the road trip, which we will do someday. By the way, I am adding it to the formal household agenda.
Noted.
But because of that afternoon, that early afternoon in that kitchen, the smoke and the ash and the window and the garden, and me standing there with absolutely zero dignity trying to construct an entire royal mythology on the spot, and you just listened. You let me finish the whole thing. And then you said...
I said, well, I hope the journey goes well, and then I helped you make a cheese sandwich.
You helped me make a cheese sandwich?
The kitchen was a write-off by that point.
It was, completely, but the cheese sandwich was very good.
It was adequate.
Gary, the cheese sandwich was beautiful.
It was quite a good cheese sandwich, yes, even if I don't really like sandwiches. I'm more of a bean guy.
Anyways, I'm glad you came over for lunch.
I'm glad you burned the roast.
Okay, now that's sentimental.
We're allowed one per episode.
We've used it. Yes, absolutely. We're very normal now.
Oh, say more.
What is it?
That cumulus to the left, the very tall vertical one.
What about it?
That's developing into a cumulonimbus. We're going to get rain within the hour.
Oh, really? That seems very rude of it, honestly, on a Sunday.
Clouds don't observe weekends.
Should we go inside?
Not yet. We've got a bit of time.
Then we stay.
We stay.
Under the tree with the March buds.
And the stratocumulus.
And the hypothetical Mushroom King quest in our hearts.
And a blanket.
An excellent blanket.
One of our better blankets, actually.
It is a top-tier blanket, Gary.
Next Sunday, we plan the route. We should do that road trip sometime.
Next Sunday, we plan the road.
I'll look up that shale exposure in Wyoming.
I'll start the packing list.
No Krakatoa on the packing list.
I'll put him on the optional list.
There is no optional list.
I've just created one.
Sign.
Well, dear friends, wonderful people of the roast community, thank you for joining us under the tree today. We hope wherever you are, the light is doing something nice and something on your horizon smells like spring. We'll be back next week with, honestly, who knows what. Life in Memfield rarely keeps to a schedule. Old Bartholomew is already giving Cogsworth very serious instructions in the garden. Gizmo has that look about him again that suggests Sonic's hedges are in imminent peril. Van Gogh has been observed driving very slowly past the house twice this week with no declared purpose.
They are planning something.
They are always planning something, but for now, it is Sunday. The music is still playing from somewhere over the hedge. And we are here, and the buds are out, and the blanket is good, and the sandwiches were fine. And the Mushroom King waits patiently in his silver forest for the day we come to join him for tea. May he wait in comfort. We are on our way.
We are. So, thanks for listening. Goodbye, everyone. Have a nice week.
Goodbye.